to Patriot Network TV. I want to talk to you a little bit today about Herman Cain. And I'm going to talk specifically about why I like Herman Cain. Mr. Cain represents, in many ways, the archetypal, the quintessential American dream. Mr. Cain tells his story about the life led by his grandfather, his father and mother, and the life led by himself. And it's a story that can only occur in the United States. It's a story of success. It's a story of upward mobility. It's a story that is rooted in our DNA. As Americans, whether we were born here, whether we came here legally and became citizens, the American dream is rooted in our DNA, and it goes as follows. We come, we follow the rules, we work hard, we try, we are relentlessly pursuing the ideal of success. And after hard work, we achieve a certain amount of success. That is what is wired into all Americans. In our DNA, it's there. And I mean that in the most literal of senses. I have never had the experience of booing someone, either internally or externally, because of factors other than their merit. I don't look at people, and I think that this is the way I was raised in this country. I don't look at people by some external definition of gender or race or ethnicity or religion. That's not appropriate. The greatest thing that I learned in sports, and I had the privilege of being coached by wonderful men who took a real interest in my performance and helped me become not just a better player or a better wrestler or a better track participant. They helped me become a better man. And they always urged that you gave everyone a fair go. That was the underlying essence of my training in sports, was you gave them a fair go. You shook hands at the beginning, you shook hands at the end, and you never broke the rules. You didn't, if you knew for a fact, if you were there and the ball was out of bounds, you said the ball's out of bounds. You didn't take a bad call. You didn't accept it because sooner or later the bad call would work against you. And that's what I learned from my coaches. And my coaches taught me to believe in everybody getting a fair go. Herman Cain's story is a story of a guy who took every opportunity, coupled it with hard work, dedication, and got out of it success. If you look at his success in business, if you look at him becoming the chief executive officer of Godfathers, if you look at how he works as a strategist, and you can see when you watch Mr. Cain walk into a room, you can see his strategy. You can see this warm, engaging, outward personality start to review the room and figure out how he's going to convince that room of what he's up to. He, in many, many ways, to me, speaks to the heart of the American dream. Work hard, keep your nose to the grindstone, believe in the system, and you make forward progress. Now, there are issues in the Cain campaign. You can criticize Mr. Cain, well, he hasn't raised enough money and he doesn't have a machine in every state, and he does, there's always a way to criticize someone who is in front. As Mr. Cain so jokingly remarked the other day, see all these arrows in my back? They feel great. He was making a reference to, if you're the leader, if you're out in front, you're always going to get arrows in the back. So Mr. Cain may not have as much money as some of the other candidates right now. He may not have the same machine on the ground in some states, but what Mr. Cain does have is a solid plan that's based in American principles to get the country moving. Now, I'm going to mention real quickly here, I've just got a couple of minutes left with you, but I want to talk about the 999 plan. The 999 plan is misunderstood by most people who look at it. And the essence of this plan is to get rid of the federal income tax and the federal payroll tax. Now, 76% of Americans, their FICA, their payroll tax, is greater than their federal income tax. 53% of American homes pay no federal income tax whatsoever. The top 1% of income tax earners pay about 40% of the total income tax bill. Mr. Cain is saying that's not fair. And he's not saying that to ingratiate himself to millionaires and billionaires. He's saying that because people who are making $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Now, the poverty level income will be exempted under sales tax and other requirements in the Cain plan and the 999 plan. If you're under $25,000 for a family of four, you're not going to pay any taxes anyway. But what's important about the Cain plan is everybody's going to pay something who is between 25K and the top of the scale. Currently, it's not at all uncommon to see people, as I just mentioned, 50-some%, 52, 53, depending which source you want to use, pay no federal income tax. They're paying the payroll tax, but they pay no federal income tax. In Cain's 999 plan, everybody over the poverty level will pay something toward the operation of the government. That will instantly transform people who are recipients, takers, into makers. If all you get from the government is benefits, you don't care how much it costs because you ain't paying for it. Everybody should pay, everybody should have that sense of the public purse, our money, shouldn't be wasted. One of the worst things that happened, and this is clear proof as has often been said, H.L. Mencken I think was the first to say it, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. When George W. Bush put in place his tax cuts, the trade-off was the bottom 50% basically would pay no federal income tax, the bottom 20% would get the earned income tax credit. That means half of American wage earners have no buy-in to making the budget responsible. To have fiscal responsibility, we need to have everybody buy into the responsibility of the public purse. Mr. Cain is the first of the candidates to express a policy that would do that. Now, we haven't endorsed anybody here at Patriot Network TV yet, and we're not going to endorse anybody today. But I have to tell you, in terms of the plans that I've read, I like 999 a lot. And I especially like Mr. Cain's positivity, his optimism, and his love of this country. So I want you to take a good hard look at Mr. Cain and keep in mind, the way that the long shot wins is we all get behind him. If you want to see the underdog win, you're going to have to support Mr. Cain. And if you think Mr. Cain is a good man, if you think Herman can do something that the other candidates can't do, get off the chair, get on the internet and send the guy $5 or $20 or whatever the heck you can do and support him. It will be good for our democracy to have a valid debate and dialogue about taxes. And that is the minimum. At the absolute minimum, the best thing that Mr. Cain's going to do is cause a dialogue on taxes. The upper limit, no, just like his own career, there's no limit on the upper limit of what good Mr. Cain could do for us. God bless Herman Cain. God bless the United States of America.